Hello, I'm Midpanel, and today I bring you another video. Today we are going to be doing a nightly Invader outrider. Specifically because I do not like the Invader outrider and I do not feel like it would fit my Knights of Camelot army, so I decided to build my own. I did correspond with a few people on this one to get some ideas, and I believe I've achieved a nightly outrider. Outrider? ATV, what am I going on about? Let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. And let's get into it. Starting this Kitbash, I grabbed the Gorebeast chariot from the Age of Sigmar Slays the Darkness range. Well, Chaos Knights, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm pretty sure it's Chaos Knights, so yeah, and but it doesn't matter. With this kit, I decided to take it all apart, start building bits I want to keep, which is this cape. Why the cape is so big, no idea, but it does look cool, so we're going to use it. I go through the process of making this look nice-ish. And then from there, I have to make some comparisons, realize that the neck is a little bit too small, and this extra fabric is a bit useless. Now, building the kit. My goal is to keep this as unaltered as possible. Reason being is to keep that older aesthetic. The only thing I am going to do is remove any chaos iconography. And anything of like too crazy of a mutation, like the horns on the horses. Other than that, well, again, chaos iconography and major mutation, which is really the only major mutation on these horses, are the horns. And that's it. So basically it's just de-spiking, de-chaosifying, and cleaning up whatever I tear up. After that, we are hunky-dory pretty much. Now, I do make a realization halfway through this, is that I was cleaning them up separately, so some of the parts didn't match. So I had to press both halves of the horses together and then re-clean up the areas so they actually would blend, so they actually would look like they fit. As you can see, here is that section where I realized, oh, this isn't working the way I thought it was. So I had to put it together, make sure it stayed roughly together, and then work it out through there. I will say this was a lot of scraping, and it probably took me, I think the raw footage was over 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of just trying to build this dude. Well, de-chaosifying, putting it together, seeing what I could change to make it better, and all that. So, is it a tedious process? Yes. Do I regret it? No. So yeah, definitely recommendation is that if you're going to do this, be aware it will take some time. So it's definitely going to take it. I recommend doing it in a few different sessions, or mindfully do it passively, like put a video on it and just go ahead and decalcify first, then proceed to build. I did it all together because that's how I'd run, and that's how we go. I do apologize about the barking in the background. The neighbor's dog is coming off his head. I used some sprue glue to smooth out the transitions between armor panels and fuse it together so it looks like an actual one piece and not like a horribly misshapen piece of armament that I've put on the horse. I clean up the mold lines on the horse's legs a little bit, and then place a little bit of sprue glue on the foreheads of the horses where the spike was, to then sort of fix that area so it doesn't look as bad as it did. But it does mean, since I'm using the horses on this model, I have the Gorebeast, that just giant lizard looking thing. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I don't know what I could do with it. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I haven't got any ideas just yet. I might have to go through some, might be able to be used in my second half of this army, which is the chaos half, which is where I'm going to try and build a Bloodborne themed chaos army. by using the enemies of Bloodborne to sort of produce that. How I'm going to do that properly, I have no idea yet. I'm not even trying to think of that area just yet. But until then, we'll see. Using the Chaos Rhino's spiked trophies, I forget, I'm pretty sure it's trophy rack. I use that as some railing to give it a bit more of a generic looking railing look. Is it anything crazy? No. Does it work though? Yes. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. Though I will say I probably should have extended that platform on the back just a little bit, just to get the two Astartes they put on there, because they use Hell Blasters instead of a standard intercessor, because, well, even though they are technically standard intercessors, I used Hell Blasters because they had solid base standing, and they didn't have tactical rocks. Because a tactical rock would look a bit odd for an Astartes to be having on a chariot. This is my rock now. I'm just gonna put it on my chariot. No, we're not having possessive Astartes on them with a rock. So I do some very, very eyeballing measurements to get the idea of what I need, and then I work back from there. I make comparison, dry fit again, cut, scrape, clean up as best I can. Should I have gone through a full, removed every minor detail of chaos on this model? Possibly would have been a good idea. But anyone knows that this channel is on a bit of a time crunch always, so we'll make do with what we have. And to be honest, I can't be happier with what the model I have, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. Now, what I'm going to do, my plan is originally to have this as a wooden chassis with a massive iron ram or sled on the front of it. I'm not sure what the front of a war chariot is called. Actually, I'm very good to have a look at it up. What was that? I don't even think what I said was English. What is the front of chariot called? Oh, it's just literally called the Guard Ambrix? Or front shield. So yeah, basically it's just going to be a front shield on a wooden chariot. Nothing too crazy, I would say. Though dechaosifying the chariot front shield was actually pretty easy, and I don't mind the look of it without the chaos symbol, like in its general shape and aesthetic. Now, with these horses and this ram situation, I believe it's called the follower, the leader. No, hang on. What? God damn it, I can't spell. I can't. Oh, okay. The tongue or pole. It's literally called a chariot pole, or later known as horse-drawn carriage. The tongue. So, wasn't 100% sure on that one, but there you go. My idea for the tongue, which is this ram-looking thing, was shorten it so it actually fit on the base for one, which is a 100mm, I think it is. Because I looked up what the ATV realistically should be sat on for a base, and it's by popular demand, it's 100mm base, which is huge for a larger model. So it actually works pretty well for me. Could I have gone without a base? Probably. Wouldn't it have been a bit awkward to go without a base? Probably as well. I'm sorry, I had a yawn, man. Okay, getting these Astartes to fit was surprisingly pretty tricky. This front one I had to pick specifically because it was the only one that actually fit in that little section in the front of the chariot. Also, why do the reins on this model suck so much? I understand it's thin plastic, but my god are they horrendous to work with. You'll notice by the end of this that I snapped the one that I glued in place and it was the best looking one. It just... I don't know why it was the situation like that. Like, that one there, that snapped already. Shaped it, got it to work, was working perfectly. Like, I got it to sit in, got it to sit well, and it worked alright, and then it snapped again, so almost like, great. The shorter one worked pretty well, but it's just, yeah. So, be aware that these little ropes, I probably should have just used some chain. I have miniature chain, I should have just used it. I didn't. Also, these little flags from the Strider Knights, I'm not using them for this. I was going to, I'm not. I'm just going to use the little flags that come with it. I wanted to make it a little bit more grand, but then realized this would make the, well, technically make the model invalid. Which, honestly, fair enough. Because it overhangs the base so much, so I'm okay with losing the big flags and going with the little ones.
Why is KSI chasing?
I don't know why that said that. Tap my phone, what? Oh, whatever. But yeah, it's going with the small ones. It's a little bit of an annoyance, but it is what's going to work. So we're going to go with that. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing at the moment. I think I'm looking for heads. I believe yes, I am looking for heads. I've gone for the not steel hams, the Free Guild Galleons heads again. Because let's be honest, they are awesome looking knight helmets. I feel like we need more knight helmets from everything. I'm pretty sure the cavalrymen have knight helmets as well. Or more knightly, different variants of knight helmets. So I've got to have a look at them. Otherwise, I really would like to avoid getting some 3D printed ones. Because one, they're expensive. And two, they're a pain to get. Because I can't 3D print them at home. Because I live in Australia and the weather doesn't like me. And really doesn't like printers. So, yeah. If I can get more helmets that are, well, reasonable priced, I will absolutely do it. But for these ones, I've used the more ugly looking helmets. Which is the Age of Sigmar Orky looking one. And the oh god, now I can't remember what it looks like. Oh, you'll see the other one. It's just like the brick helmet. I don't have any better way to explain it. I did try to make like a stand or like a tripod situation for this rotary this assault cannon, but didn't work out as well as I thought it was. So I switched it from a slightly higher elevation to a swivel idea. So instead of firing forward, you ride up beside the whatever you're trying to shoot or run around it. You turn the autocannon towards that, which is usually to the sides, and then just open fire. Very much so Wild West tactics, because that's what a lot of bandits did. If you didn't pull over, especially with armored carts, a lot of them they would get their hands on Gatling guns or guns of any sort, right up beside, ride their carriage beside theirs, and just start taking shots at the drivers. Which personally is pretty cool to learn about, but other than that, I couldn't find a good, decent way to get this thing to mount without it looking like ridiculous. I mean, it looks ridiculous anyway, but it is a lot better than it was to have that big Y sitting at the front of it. Now, the second model, I grabbed my Dremel. I used a this ball, what do you call it? No, it's a ball grinder, and use that to carve out enough material to fit the cape onto the Astartes. I probably should have bent the cape a little bit more, so the cape was more downwards, but then upwards at the same time. It was a hassle, I'll say that much. Just to get a power pack on this dude and the cape. Surprisingly, models that aren't made to go together don't go together. Who would have guessed? Nah, it's alright. Worked out in the end. I'm quite happy with it. Is it perfect? No. But it is good enough, and I'm happy with that. Now, what I did forget to do was account for a pauldron. I do give him a pauldron. I just have to cut. I had to cut one up so it actually fit underneath the cape. Where I should have worked with the cape and had one stuck in underneath it, but it didn't do that because I didn't think about that. Oversight is a cruel thing, so remember, people, double check what you're doing. I get this dude who's going to sit in the back with just a pointing hand, because I assume he's going to be directing either the driver to fire somewhere or to lead the horses that way. What he's doing back there, no idea, but he's got a pistol. He has his pistol. He can provide some extra help. I would assume his role is basically anything that isn't a big enough target to be taken out with the autocannon. The assault cannon, what am I going? Autocannon. Assault cannon. He just takes shots at and he hopes that they bugger off or he ends them. One or the other. I feel like that was a good situation. Also, I didn't realize that the holster that I put on this dude didn't sit the way I thought it did because it didn't check. So it just sits floating out. So luckily that's out of sight mostly. Now attaching this to the base, and it's nothing crazy. I just strapped an absolutely ungodly amount of texture paste on the base, and then I painted it the same scheme I have with the rest of my models, so I'm not going to show that, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please do a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And if you want to see how I paint my Knights of Camelot, I will link my various Knights of Camelot videos in the cards above. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.